In a tiny bright town where sunflowers sway, lived little Toby, who loved to explore every day. With pockets of wonders and shoes made for speed, he carried a big heart and a curious need. He'd ask silly questions like, do clouds take naps? And do raindrops giggle when falling? Perhaps his mom would just smile and pat his soft hair. Go follow your wonder, there's magic out there. One glowing morning with skies painted gold, Toby felt something strange and bold. A whispering wind twirled around his ear, saying, come little Toby, adventure is near. So off he ran with a jump and a spin, holding his hat so it wouldn't fall in. Down twinkling tunnels of maple tree shade, past sleepy beetles on a mushroom parade. He soon reached a gate made of peppermint wires, guarded by stars with tiny blue fires. Knock 3 times and wiggle your toes, then a secret candy door opens. It froze. Toby did as told, tap, 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 and wiggle. The gate swung open with a peppermint giggle. Inside lay a valley of cotton candy air, with bubblegum trees growing everywhere. Oh wow, Toby cheered as he hopped on a cloud, which bounced like a pillow. He laughed really loud. A giggly cloud said, hold tight, don't fall, I'll show you the world, just give me a call. So cloud and boy zoomed over rivers of glitter, past jelly bean birds we sang sweet and bitter, over lollipop hills glowing purple and green, where marshmallow rabbits danced on jelly bean beams. But suddenly poof, a spark lit the sky, a rainbow dragon began to fly. Its scales shimmered bright like polished moonstone, yet its voice trembled softly, I'm lost all alone. Toby slid off the cloud with a kind little smile. Don't worry, Mr. Dragon, I'll help for a while. Just tell me your home, your mountain or cave, I'll guide you back safely. I'm friendly and brave. The dragon sniffed my rainbow trail, ended too soon. I was supposed to follow it up to the moon. Toby nodded firmly, and let's go right now. I'll lead the way, just follow my cloud. Up they soared, whooshed through sparkly air, past floating puzzles and alphabet hair. They reached the moon meadow's soft ray glow, where moon bunnies hopped in a silvery row. There cried the dragon, my rainbow's returned. Its wings fluttered by like a lantern's burn. Thank you, dear Toby, you bowed in grace. You helped me return to my magical place. You gifted the boy a shimmering star that glows when you're brave, no matter how far. Then he vanished in colors of brilliant light, leaving Toby glowing warm and bright. Cloud carried Toby back home through the sky, as the sun yawned low and stars blinked high. He landed gently where fireflies roam, whispering, here we are, your sweet little home. In a cozy little town not too far away lived Toby, a bright little boy who loved to play. He woke one morning with a giggle and cheer. Today feels special, he said loud and clear. The sun peeked in with a tickle of light, painting his room warm, golden and bright. Toby jumped up with a bounce and a hop. He twirled so fast he almost couldn't stop. He slipped on his sneakers, tied them tight, ready for adventures from morning till night. Out the door he skipped, tap, 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 with a shiny red backpack and his blue the street he'd wander with a curious grin, wondering what magical quest he'd fall into again. Suddenly, whoosh, a breeze raced by and carried a sparkly feather high in the sky. It floated down gently, twisting like a kite, glowing and shimmering with rainbow bright light. Toby caught the feather, wow, in surprise, and right then the world changed before his eyes. The trees grew taller, the flowers sang, the wind chimed music, clang, clang, play. Swirling glass shout, follow me, and darted away toward a talking tree. Toby laughed and ran without fear, for adventure was the thing he held most dear. The talking tree hummed a deep bass tune and pointed a branch at the glowing moon. Climb up, little hero, it gently said, the quest leads up where the clouds are spread. And so he climbed with eager delight, higher and higher into the bright. He reached a cloud made of marshmallow fluff, soft and squishy, warm enough. There he found a castle of jelly bean glass, where cotton candy guards let heroes pass. Inside the halls of swirling swirl, he met a giggly bubblegum girl. She said, Toby, brave boy, we need your spark. Our rainbow crown is gone missing after dark. He nodded boldly, standing strong. He loved the quest and this felt big and long. They searched through rooms of glitter and glow, past chocolate rivers that moved too slow, through peppermint forests shiny and cool, and a popcorn mountain shaped like a stool. At last they spotted a shimmering shine, a sneaky dragon in a noodle vine. But this dragon wasn't mean at all, it was tiny, cute, and terribly small. I borrowed the crown to try her out on, it squeaked with the yawn from the noodle lawn. Toby giggled, bowed his head low, and said, let's return it so the rainbows can glow. The dragon agreed and flapped with pride, carrying the crown on a cloud-soft ride. Back at the castle, cheers echoed loud. Toby was lifted high by a candy crowd. Hero of colors, he shouted with glee. Thanks to you, we shine happily. The bubblegum girl gave him a star-shaped light, a glowing charm that hung so bright. But just as the party began to grow, the charm burst open with a twinkling glow. A portal swirled and produced fun and flow, and they knew we'd have to, had to do. A horn to spherical sings faint kit, Sandu sparrow cheering at chits, and Thomas thought the sactal soup to cap to lifted tenu or call. Fractal dawn flooring in tinker ward, women sing was all steam board. Footy old team beat at the soul, I shouldn't live up till they're all local. So fur balls the surface for deep, shoot to shoot the west for king. I just see lovely hammy and doos, Toby and she to live while she's sinking. In a sunny little town where the daisies swayed, lived Oliver, a bright little boy who loved parades. He woke one morning with a wiggle and cheer. Today feels amazing, adventure is near. He hopped out of bed with a thumpity-thump, and danced to the mirror with a bumpity-bump. His hair stood up in a silly swirl. He laughed and said, I'm ready for the world. He grabbed his sneakers, zoom, on they went. Today felt special and he felt confident. He stepped outside with a skip and a spin. A sunny warm breeze brushed over his chin. But then, whoosh, the sky shimmered wide as a rainbow tornado began to glide. Twirled and swirled in a marvelous whirl, calling out softly, hey little boy, give it a twirl. Oliver blinked, unsure what he'd heard. Did a tornado just speak? That sounded absurd, but curiosity bubbled bright and strong, and he followed the swirl as it danced along. With a whoop and a whirl, it circled the ground, and suddenly, poof, the world spun around. The grass turned purple, the clouds turned green, the sky became the brightest shade of tangerine. Oliver gasped, wow, this is unreal. His fish swam in the air like a flying reel. A dancing teapot tapped me twice on the knee, and a giggling flower said, follow me. He marched through a field of jelly bean sand, where lollipop trees grew tall and grand. A marshmallow mouse with caramel stripes played tiny drums made of chocolate pipes. Oliver clapped along, joining the beat, as gummy bear dancers twirled near his feet. Then suddenly, a doorbell rang from a cupcake cottage shaped like a tame. Out came a wizard with frosting for hair and sprinkles that sparkled everywhere. Oliver, he boomed, you've arrived just in time. Our rainbow tornado has slipped from its line. It's meant to bring colors to this magical land, but it's whirling too widely for us to command. Oliver nodded, brave as can be. I'll help, he declared with courage and glee. He chased the tornado across glittery hills, past musical mushrooms humming trills. He climbed a staircase made of soft cotton rope, holding on tight with heroic hope. When he reached the top of the spinning swirl, he saw the tornado crying like a scared little girl. Don't worry, he said, I'll help you slow down. You don't have to spin fast, no need to frown. He held its windy hands gentle and true, and whispered, breathe. 1, 2. The tornado calmed, its colors grew bright. It shimmered once more with rainbow light. Thank you, Oliver, it said with delight. You saved the colors of day and night. As a gift it wrapped him in a swirl of sparkles, carrying him gently through glowing arches. And within him a whoosh of glitter and air, Oliver landed back home, safe and fair. His shoes were dusty with jelly bean sand. A gummy bear crumb still stuck to his hand. He giggled and whispered, "One much, and he did." In the land of Giggleberry, where the rainbow rivers gleam, where cotton candy clouds float by like bubbles in a dream, where gumdrop trees grow twisty trunks and lollipop leaves sway, something magical begins to bloom at the start of every day. The sun pops up with a giggle, the moon hides with a wink, the stars do sparkly somersaults, then tumble off the brink. The wind hums silly melodies that make the flowers dance, and crickets wear their tiny shoes to join the morning prance. The jelly bean bunnies hop around in spots of tangerine, while peppermint parrots flutter by in feathers aqua green. The blueberry whales and licorice lakes blow bubbles made of light, and fireflies twirl in tutus as the daytime meets the night. The marshmallow mountains rise so high they almost touch the stars, and every night they glow with dots of sprinkles from afar. The pancake forest sizzles softly when the breeze goes by, and syrup waterfalls drip sweetness from high up in the sky. But in this land of silly things where one days never end, there lives a tiny spark of magic known as the whimsy wind. It zips around from place to place with whispers bright and airy, leaving sparkles, jokes, and daydreams that make the whole land merry. One morning, though the whimsy wind turned suddenly quite shy, it curled itself into a knot and didn't want to fly. Giggleberry paused in shock. The wind had lost its cheer. The laughter shrank, the fun grew small, the scowls felt far less clear. The jelly bean bunnies stopped their hop, the whales blew bubbles gray. The pancake forest drooped its leaves in a syrupy dismay. Even the sun so dimmer as it rose up from its bed, and whispered, "Where's the silliness? I feel so dull instead." So the creature called a meeting at the great big giggly hill, where everyone discussed the wind that suddenly stood still. The peppermint pets squawked aloud, "We must bring back the fun." The jelly bean bunnies agree, "We'll help, let's start, let's run." They searched inside the pancake woods beneath the syrup streams. They looked inside the marshmallow haves and in the clouds of cream. They peeked behind the gumdrop trees and under the licorice stones. They hummed their sweetest humming tunes in high and happy tones. At last they found the whimsy wind inside a sky and bovine. They whimper, "I feel lonely, no one listens to my shine." The creatures gathered close and hugged the little windy sprite. They said, "We always love you, Windy, you're our spark, our light." With that, the whimsy wind perked up and swirled into the air. It spun around the giggleberry world with joy beyond compare. The sun glowed bright and warm again, the moon gave out a beam. The stars jumped high and giggled like marshmallows in a dream. The pancake forest flipped its leaves with crispy golden cheer. The waves blew glowing bubbles that have floated far and near.
Woke up early with a giggle and a grin, for today he felt adventure bubbling brightly from within. He tied his tiny sneakers and he grabbed his favorite hat, then whispered, "Magic, here I come, now imagine that." He tiptoed past the cookie jar and past the squeaky chair, and suddenly a sparkly swirl was spinning in the air. It whooshed around the living room, it zoomed across the floor. Before he knew what happened, Ela slipped right through a door. The door was made of cotton clouds, soft as pillow fluff. It smelled like marshmallow mountains and rainbow candy stuff. Leo peeked out the other side and gasped a little wow, for he had reached a place where nothing looked like her somehow. The trees were shaped like jelly beans, their leaves were gummy bears. The flowers hung like flutes and floated gently in the air. A chocolate river giggled as it bubbled down a hill, while cotton candy butterflies danced quietly until a silly spotted creature with long twisty noodle legs came wobbling toward Leo, bouncing purple eggs. "Hello," it said politely with the jiggly wobble bow. And wibble wobble wandy, would you like to learn just how magic lives in wonder, well, how stars can talk and sing, how raindrops cape with colors, how balloons grow tiny wings. Leo's eyes grew wider than two shiny silver plates. "Yes, please," he said excitedly, "I simply cannot wait." So off they skipped it, blown and glass beneath the sherbet sky, past puffy clouds, shaped like dragons gently drifting by. They reached a field of bouncing balls that hopped like kangaroos, and then a hill of storybooks that read aloud the news. Next came a land of topsy-turver, up was sometimes down, where turtles zoomed on roller skates and cats wore sparkly crowns. Leo laughed so hard his hat fell off and rolled around a tree, but the tree stood up on tiny feet and brought it back politely. Then Wandy said, "It's time we meet the queen of fireflies. She glows with golden twinkles and she's really very wise." So onward through the shimmer swamp and over Jelly Bridge, till they arrived at Firefly Peak, the sparkliest of ridges. The queen was small and gentle with the crown of glowing light. You've traveled far, young Leo, and your heart shines big and bright. Wonder a response to kids who dream with open eyes, because imagination is the magic in disguise. Golden morning dark, thatching them, call to make success. Trick eyes when they could trend Uvida's cock, with insured upward fill of Bontanine noon. He fell from parrot puffy clouds, he hit the shano jet, and silly lake, cheap red and no pearl like Paul and Mitch. The bill and carrot a cabin where it's fought for because beneath. He caught him singing how much dirt his gift is to the sight. When Brandy's dying cake at Teleki, he suffered the ass a throat. Thanks you got his spray. The boomer camera gives her body ring you a bed. And we until it hit the pop and shook and under. So took it here at heart and getting it, you said it beer. I'm getting it, she's spirits in the crowd, you should have beer. I'll bet yourself a little cow, but maybe raise beer. So I'm inside me watching cause 80% of me. Cause I know can't go bad, no yet they I can't get to me. The line shaded while you flip the shoulders, gets a breathe. But burn feet, tiny on the surface, steady soft. It's some odd you taste the matching there and more than puts a screen. Switch above your butt for mom, I heard you had to read. They'll each carry 7 just a 2. Little Timmy awoke one day when the sky was purple blue, and the sun wore golden goggles, shining warm and shining true. He rubbed his eyes and giggled soft, for the morning smelled like pie, and a rainbow tail was swishing where a breeze went drifting by. Timmy slipped on shiny shoes that glowed with every jump, and the floorboards sang a melody with a thump, a thimp, a thump. He tiptoed past the ticking clock that winked with one bright hand, and whispered, "Timmy, hurry now, adventure's close at hand." Outside his door a sparkle road spread wide across the grass, made from crumbs of shooting stars and fairy frosted glass. Timmy gasped and took a step, the road began and hung, and suddenly a tiny drum was beating Timmy come. Across the yard and down the lane, through petals pink and tall, he marched into a whimsy wood where trees were 12 feet small. A squirrel with purple whiskers waved, said, "Timmy, this is new. We don't get children every day. Come see our forest zoo." They passed giraffes the size of cats and elephants like bugs, and a turtle who wore sneakers made of soft and snuggly rugs. Timmy laughed until he tumbled into fluffy clover beds, where butterflies wore tiny crowns on top of tiny heads. But then boom, ba-boom, a sound came marching from the east, rumbling like a cupcake cart pulled by a cookie beast. Out rolled a giant muffin ship with icing swirled in blue, and captained by a pastry prince who bowed and said, "How do?" Timmy hopped aboard the deck where jelly beans were keys, and pressing them played music like a candy symphony breeze. The Muffin Prince declared, "My friend, we sail to Gumdrop Peak, a land of bouncing candy clouds. It's sweeter every week." Through caramel winds and chocolate swirls, their muffin ship would glide, with marshmallow birds that hushed along in flocks on either side. At last they reached the mountain top where gumdrops lined the way, and every bounce sent Timmy 3 feet higher in the day. He hopped so high he touched the moon, which wasn't rock at all, but a giant lemon lollipop hung low so kids won't fall. He gave it one small nibble and the moon began to glow, singing, "Thank you, Timmy darling, for making me less low." Timmy floated gently down on twinkling cotton air and landed on a jelly cloud that shaped into a chair. From there he watched a parade begin. Oh, what a sight to see, with marshmallow lines and twirling bears and a dancing apple tree. The parade conductor, Penny Plum, called Timmy lead the show and gave him a magic purse to fluff with a glow. He waved it once and suddenly the sky turned pinkish till little giggle drops rained down with joyful squeals. They splashed like tiny bubbles that tickled toes and knees, and even made the mountains laugh in rustling happy wheeze. But soon the sun grew sleepier, purple all sifted each day. Untangle popper in bertie expiries each and days In a tiny bright town at the edge of the sky lived little Timmy, who loved asking why. Why stars twinkled softly like glittery flies, why rainbows wore 7 bright colored ties. Timmy woke up each morning with sparkles of cheer, ready to chase every dream far or near. With a backpack of crayons and sneakers of red, he'd follow the stories that dance in his head. One sunny morning, while tying his shoe, Timmy heard something odd, like a soft peep-a-boo. He peeked round the corner, and what did he see? A giggle bird perched on the old apple tree. The giggle bird chirped, "Come along, follow me. Let's visit the land of the laughing out sea." Timmy gasped with excitement and shouted, "Let's go!" And suddenly, whoosh, they were off in a glow. They zoomed past the clouds on a ribbon of light, past dolphins that juggled in mid-morning right, past mountains that wiggled and valleys that spun into a place where the rivers could run, run, run. Literally run with feet and shoes, singing, "We'll race you, Timmy, you'll nor lose." Timmy laughed as he raced the quick river, though its icy cool splashes sent him a shiver. The river high-fived him and splashed once more, then dashed away, giggling toward the glowing shore. Next came the forest of tickle-toed trees, where leaves whispered jokes in the wandering breeze. Every step made a tree trunk giggle, every branch gave a soft silly whistle. Timmy chuckled so hard
fell to the ground, and the giggle bird laughed with a snorty sound. The giggle bird chirped, "Come along, follow me. Let's visit the land of the laughing out sea." Timmy gasped with excitement and shouted, "Let's go!" And suddenly they were off in a glow. Then came the meadow of marshmallow mice, who rolled little sugar balls, oh how nice. They invited Timmy to join their game, and soon every mouse was chanting his name. "Timmy, Timmy, come bounce along. You've got the rhythm, we'll make a song." So bounce he did with a marshmallow beat, and every hop made a poof beneath his feet. Soft clouds of sweetness swirled in the air, sticking to Giggle Bird's fluffy blue hair. Farther ahead near a peppermint lake was a friendly giant jelly bean snake. But don't be frightened, it wasn't me. It was pink and polka dotted, shiny and clean. It slithered up gently and said with a grin, "Would you like a jelly bean? I got cherry, come in." The snake opened a door made of sugar glass slides, and Timmy rode down with sparkles in his eyes. He landed on cushions made of cotton candy snow, where snowflakes hum softly, "Hello, hello." Next, Timmy climbed up to a cinnamon cloud, where thunder wasn't scared but happy and loud. The cloud burst open with cinnamon pops, sprinkling the world with dessert-flavored drops. Then suddenly, poof, with a shimmer of gold, a time-traveling tortoise, gentle and old, popped from a bubble of whirling delight and said, "Hop on, Timmy, let's take a go."
There once was a boy named Timmy. He loved adventure, exciting and zippy. From morning till night he'd giggle and play, turning ordinary hours into a magical day. One sunny morning he found a strange hat, sparkled with stars and whispered, "Come chat." He put it on his head and whoosh off he flew, right over the rooftops with a bright golden hue. Down in the garden he met a wise cat with stripes of red but purple tap. "Hello, dear Timmy, come join our parade, where flowers can dance and trees sing in the shade." Timmy twirled and he spun with the leaves. He chased firefly lanterns to sparkling green eaves. A rabbit on roller skates zoomed by so fast. Hop on and said, "Let's make memories that last." They slid down a rainbow all twisty and wide, splashing in clouds that were soft as a slide. A jelly bean river flowed past with a giggle, and candy corn fish did a splish splash wiggle. "Let's climb a gump mountain," shouted a frog with emerald eyes and a tiny green cog. They reached the top and looked far and near. The sky was all painted with colors of cheer. A dragon appeared, not fierce but kind, with scales like marbles and a heart you could find. "Do you want to ride in it?" asked with a grin. Timmy hopped on and the adventure begins. They soared through the clouds that rumbled with laughter, past castles of chocolate and clouds made of taffy, after unicorn waved with glittery mane, joining their party on Swimsicle Plain. Suddenly a whisper came soft in the breeze, "Follow the trail to the land of the trees." The leaves whispered secret and flowers would talk, and the river could ripple in a polka dot walk. Timmy tiptoed on stones that glittered the meadows, dark off the lawns with a heat buzz of the fleet kite that pulled the door. How take who praises the Lord, 190 crept by his side. The star's voice twinkled down to join in the night. A rainbow blue with a hoop and a wing. Timmy said, "Come closer and think." on the dragon with friends by side. Blue skies painted with colors no words could describe. Back home in his room with the yawn on his side, Timmy whispered, what a wonderful sky. The hat gently twinkled, then softly did rest, for Timmy's hard adventure had passed its grand test. And now every morning he looks to the sky, with twinkling hazel eyes full of wonder, oh my. For in the world of Timmy with laughter and cheer, every day holds a story magical and dear.
In a tiny bright town where the tall daisies grow, lived a little boy named Leo with a giggle full of glow. He had hair like a sunrise, soft and gold brown and bright, and eyes full of sparkle like stars in the night. Leo loved adventures, oh he dreamed them every day. He believed every pebble something magical to say. He'd wake up each morning with a skip and a cheer. Today's a big day, wonder world must be near. One sunny morning he put on his blue shoes and followed a butterfly, red, yellow, and blues. It fluttered and danced in a twist and twirl like a tiny bright ribbon doing its own whirl. The butterfly stopped by an oak that was tall, and tucked in the roots was a glowing green mole. Leo bent down and picked it up with a grin. The moment he touched it, whoosh, the magic flowed and the ground started shaking. The sky turned to gold, a rainbow path wide open, wide, bright and bold. Step right this way, sang a voice from the air. Leo looked around, but no one was there. So he stepped on the rainbow, steady and slow, and the colors beneath him began to glow up. He zoomed, like a rocket so fast, into land where dreams are cast. He landed on clouds that felt fluffy and sweet, like walking on whipped cream beneath his feet. A cotton candy bird began flapping nearby. Welcome to Wonder World was its chirpy cry. Next came a dragon, but friendly and small, just big enough for Leo, not big at all. Its scales were like glitter, red, green, and blue, and it made tiny sparkles when it said, how do you? Leo hopped on the dragon, ready to explore, and off they zoomed with a wish and a roar. They flew through valleys full of musical trees, where leaves chime soft notes in every breeze. They passed candy mountains with caramel snow, and rivers of lemonade swirling below. They saw bubblegum turtles and peppermint bees, and a choir of cookies singing harmonies. The dragon then said, hold tight to my wings, we're heading to the land of jingly things. They arrived at a castle made only of beals, where laughter echo and tingly spells. Inside the castle lived King Rattleroo, a jolly old fellow with boots bright blue. He shook Leo's hand with a jing-jing sound, and the floor beneath them spun round. And Billy May Glow Fox with a tail shining bright, leading Leo onward through the twinkling night. He stepped on star stones that hummed with cheer, each step singing Leo is here.
There once was a boy named Milo Bright, who woke with a giggle at dawn's early light. He stretched his arms wide and wiggled his toes, and sunshine tickled the tip of his nose. He hopped from bed with a joyful cheer. Adventure awaits, my day starts here. He tied his shoes, one red, one blue, for Milo loved colors that poke right through. down the stairs. He zipped so fast past Granny's clock that chimed at last. He grabbed his hat, striped purple and green, the silliest hat you've ever seen. Out the door he ran with the light, into a world so shiny and bright. Birds sang melodies sweet and high as cotton candy clouds floated by. Milo marched to the Whispering Park, where fireflies glowed even in the dark. A teeny tiny one landed on his hand, and Milo felt magic like grains of sand. Follow me, the firefly hummed, and Milo's heart thumped, thumped, thumped. Through twirly trees and rainbow mist, past flowers that blew a peppermint kiss. They reached a door shaped like a star, gleaming brightly from afar. Milo knocked once, boop, and then again, and the door flung wide with the jingling refrain. Inside was a land of sparkling beams, like the world was made of birthday dreams. Cupcake hills and jelly bean trails, whipped cream mountains with candy wind sails. A marshmallow bunny hopped his way. Welcome Milo, come join the play. He bounced so high he touched the moon, and Milo followed with a happy swoon. They zoomed on clouds fluffy as bread, with cookie crumbs sprinkling overhead. They slid down licorice bends so steep, landing in gumdrop snow a heap. Suddenly came the cinnamon breeze, carrying even more surprises than these. It lifted Milo like a gentle kite, and sent him spinning with pure delight. He landed softly on Jellywig Lane, where lemon drop cats danced in the rain. Each step he took turned golden bright, his shoes glowed warm like tiny night lights. Next came the Giggleberry King, wearing a crown that went bling, bling, bling. He said, Milo, brave boy, kind and true, I've been waiting a long time just for you. He handed Milo a shiny spoon that shimmered like a silver moon. Stir the sky once, stir the sky twice, and watch this world turn extra nice. Milo lifted the spoon up high, swirled it gently through the sky. The clouds turned shapes of every kind, a dragon, a castle, a dancing wind. Colors burst, put from every side, like a confetti rainbow carpet ride. The world cheered loud with happy cries, as stars winked down from the purple skies. But soon the firefly glowed soft and dim. We must head home, it's time, my friend. Milo smiled, though his heart felt tight, for magical days always go too quiet. Back through the star-shaped door he stepped, while the peppermint flowers bowed as they wept. Through rainbow mist and twirly trees, he followed the soft cinnamon breeze. Home at last he blinked his eyes, and saw a little box, its cup blew bright. Home at last he blinked his eyes, and saw a little cup, don't sit, be tired. In a bright blue town where the skies sing loud, lived a little Max, happy, brave, and proud. Every morning he'd grin at the sun so high, and whisper when magic will happen today. One fine day with the bounce at a zoom, Max found sparkly footprints leading out of his room. They glittered like silver, they glowed like lights, so Max followed them gently, holding his kite. Down the stairs and out the door, across the garden's grassy floor, the footprints twinkled, turned and spun, a trail of wonder, a trail of fun. Max tiptoed after them, quick as a fox, till he found a tiny rainbow box. It shimmered, hummed, and suddenly poof, a cloud-shaped doorway floated up to the roof. Come in, said a voice, soft like feather, adventure awaits in magical weather. Max gulped once but gave no fear, for a brave little boy the path is always clear. With a hop and a skip he stepped inside, and zoomed through colors like a rainbow slide. Up he wished to a sky so bright, where sunbeams danced and laughed with delight. There he met Cloudy, a puffy white cloud, who boasted I'm the fluffiest in all the sky crowd. Max giggled and poked him, Cloudy went squish, then granted Max a sky-soaring wish. They soared past birds with golden wings, they high-fived windmills, they tickled strings of floating harps that played sweet tunes as stars peeked o'er balloons. They soared past birds with golden wings, they high-fived windmills, they tickled strings of floating harps that played sweet tunes as stars peeked out like shy balloons. Then Max saw a storm cloud, grumpy and gray, who frowned, no sunshine for anyone today. But Max, being Max, stepped forward and said, "Let's play a game instead of feeling dread." They played tag, swimming left and right. Even storm clouds love a little light. Soon the grumpy cloud trickled soft and low, and it let gentle raindrops start to glow. The glowing rain fell softly, cheerfully bright, turning the sky into twinkling night. Max gasped, amazed by the sight so grand, as sparkles drifted like magical sand. But then ding! A bell in the breeze whispered, "Time to go home, please." Max hugged the clouds, waved goodbye, and slid down a moonbeam back to the sky. He landed gently on his garden grass, just as the wind sang a lullaby past. Max whispered, "What a wonderful day, I'll be back again to the clouds someday." And so in the town where the skies sing loud, lives little Max, cheerful, brave, and proud, who knows that magic is never too far when you follow footprints, no matter how small they are.